welcome back to Sticks and Strings. I'm Naomi.
I'm Beth.
I'm Eve. This is our second start. We're home. We came home from the mountains. We've had a busy week, and we're back with you guys. I think Eve's going to go first this time.
Yeah, so Beth and I are participating in the virtual cross-stitch camp, which has been, so far, since June 1st, it's been a lot of fun. People putting comments on the Facebook cross-stitch camp, they're hilarious. You know,
finding frogs in their tent.
I found a frog last night. But because of that, we are sending a package of stuff for some of the giveaways. One of the things that we're sending is an Oceans bag that looks like this. This is one for our Etsy site, not the one we sent. We sent that a while back. and also,
We'll take some pictures.
yeah, also project bag. Now these are not on the Etsy site yet, but they will be.
So like camping tents and stuff?
Yeah, it's camping tents, mountains,
and a little camper.
Yeah,
So
and I have
cute.
one cut out that I'm ready to stitch on that is back here somewhere. That is also adorable. It's bears and a lake, and yeah, it's really pretty. Little suns.
How cute.
So those are going to be on the Etsy site. I have all the pictures taken and everything. I just need to get it up there, but it's, as we said, been a busy week. So those will go up there, and we have donated that thing. We donated also a scissor fob, which we will also have. Do you have that here? Right there.
Yeah, I have something similar. Yeah.
Yeah. Which has a little tent on it, and yeah.
These are different than the
Didn't you say
tent
one that
ones.
was like it?
I didn't. I sent a tent one. These are different. If they're from the thing, because I hadn't up with the other thing
Okay.
yet.
I thought one of those was the same, but they're similar.
Yeah, this one has a little canoe, and a paddle.
I can't row a boat. Canoe?
And
It's like, what is it? I can't elope. My father took the car.
we sent one of the fabric covered button needle minders. We probably have a
This
similar one over there,
it's a
but
little canoe.
We'll take
paddle.
pictures.
Yeah.
We'll take pictures,
Yeah.
put them up. So there people are donating for giveaways for the camp?
yeah,
Is
for
that
if you
happening?
finish.
Oh, this
Your
is the one you
project-
made.
Oh, this is the
The
one I
craft
made.
one.
This says I love crafting.
Yeah.
So we're donating some of the prizes that people might get if you finish your project during the month
Yeah.
I see.
for both June, July, and August. You're eligible. So
That's cool.
we're kind of excited about that, to be able to donate some of our product and participate in that way as well. And I am, for cross stitch camp for June, I was inspired by Jessica with Needle and Thread, and I saw this on her first Flosstube. This is Whale in the Light Bowl by Maria Bravko.
How's it going?
Well, it's going pretty good. I have a little Yoda needle minder, which I got
You
from
mean a Baby Yoda?
Baby Yoda.
which I got. It says, "Adopt this baby Jedi." It crossed out baby and says Jedi. I got this from So Heavenly. It's a UK based company. I just love it. And the needles on the two I got from them are nice and strong.
I was going to say the magnets, you mean?
That too. So,
The needles are strong.
well, the magnet on the other two that I got, I love the needle minders. They're beautiful, but the magnets, they're not as strong. And so my other needle minders pull the needles off of them. So this is how far I've gotten so far in the past 5
I see
days.
the light bulb.
Yeah.
Light
So
bulb.
I'm doing I'm doing real well with it, but I don't want to work on it right now because the threads that I'm working on are the same color as because I'm good at that, as the background, basically. And where I'm working on it, I have a bright light and I can see the difference. But
The light's kind of funky.
How are you gonna finish that? Because that's you have very little margin for. Are you gonna frame it, or you think, or?
plenty more. I'm okay.
I'm just.
She's
was
just asking how
curious
you're going to finish it.
If you're
I
planning
don't
on
know.
framing it.
I don't know. Maybe. But I have plenty. So that's what I'm working on for camp. When we were up at Greer, I was continuing to work on tomato seeds by stitching with the housewives, and I finished it shortly after coming home, before camp started.
You mean some stitching camp?
Yeah.
Cross-stitch camp.
Cross-stitch camp. Yeah, I changed the black for tomato, the word tomato, I changed it to the blue. And this is on teal. We dyed this. I dyed this. This is just 14 count Ada, and I dyed it this teal color. On Whale in the Light Bulb, again, I'm using 14 count Ada, and I dyed this just a blue color. The light bulb has a lot of back stitching around it, so it'll show up very well after. What is that tag? Wait for the back stitch. So I've decided tonight while we're working, I'm going to work on it's called Black Cat. It's by Cross Stitching for Fun. Let me see.
Why else would you cross-stitch if not for fun?
And of course, there's no, in the PDF, there's no picture.
Oh, is that the ones with the two kitties?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
well,
you're doing two?
it's going to be two kitties. I have a printed picture, but it's not in the PDF, and I didn't bring it over here. And this is how far I've gotten so far. It's a graphic kitty, and you can't see it, but I'll take a picture of it. It's the lighting in here. You can't see it. It shows up really well on the fabric. So I've put this aside to do other things, and I thought, I'll work on that tonight. So I have a story for later, but that's me for right now.
Can I go next? Because
Yeah.
I don't have a lot to talk about. So my daughter is home. You saw her last week, and she's home until Tuesday. And so I decided to go gangbusters on her top, and let me pull this out so it doesn't go out. What'd you do?
I just dropped something.
It
dropped
knocked
something
everything
else.
down.
Look at her top. Oh wait, it's falling in. So I've started stitching it together.
Ooh, it's pretty.
And here's the back. And right now I'm doing the across, all the seams across. So you can see right here. So I'm doing it in this taupe color. So you can see the seam right here. And it's just slip stitching, but it looks braided. Look at it.
Oh,
Like
that's
a
pretty.
braid.
Yeah,
It's
that's
kind
pretty.
of a crooked. Because I really wanted to find a nice way I didn't want to just overhand stitch it, together. So I've got almost all of the horizontal seams done, and then just the vertical seams going up. And so my plan is to get it done this weekend. Today was kind of shot, but yeah, I'm almost done with this third across seam. So anyway, she's very excited. She tried it on preliminarily, and I think it's going to work just fine. So, and then I'm going to...
Nope. Sorry.
Steve's phone.
Sorry.
I'm gonna do just a single crochet all around the edges though. So
I'm quite sure that's somebody wanting me to update my warranty on my.
yeah, car warranty is running out. But yeah, so I'm gonna do a single crochet all along the edges also. So I'm hoping to get this done before she leaves on Tuesday morning. If not, it'll follow behind her, but it'll definitely be done before she goes to her summer institute. So anyway, that's me. I'm very excited. They left you a voicemail about your warranty.
They often do.
So that's what I'm
It's
working
either
on.
that or, something's wrong with the credit card I don't have.
Right.
Maybe it's about the iPad.
Oh, yeah. Oh, so I don't know if the video looks any different, but we're working with a new iPad. Eve bought an iPad this week.
Yeah. Yep.
And we set it up.
Well, I tried to
Twice.
set it up.
So that was fun.
Yeah.
But but it's nice, and it'll be that way. I can actually. So maybe next time I'll have my iPad here with my patterns on it.
There's a reason you don't have your iPad here today. We had a long day.
We had a long day. Well, no,
but
I don't
it was
have,
a wonderful
Well,
day.
the reason I don't have it, I didn't bring it because I don't need it. So it was kind of fun.
Oh,
And I'm like,
yeah.
ooh, I get to put I'm gonna put some more games on my iPad because my iPad has not very much memory, and it really will only hold 1 week's video, and I have to, in order to edit it and save it and upload it, I basically have to have bare bones on my iPad. So so this will free up a lot of space, and
Yeah, I went in and I was like, I need it to have a lot of memory and a lot of RAM.
yeah, I mean, just so that it saves easily, because for some reason the software that we use is iMovie, and it's real simple and it's good, but you can't upload straight to YouTube from iMovie. You have to actually save it. So you have to have room on your iPad, not only for the videos, the raw videos to sit on there, but you have to have it for the edited videos also. So you have to have double the memory for every single video that we do. So this was driving me crazy, and I tried to upload it, and and that's the other thing, it would say it was saving, and it wouldn't tell me there wasn't enough room until hours later I come back and it says there's not enough room. So then I'd have to delete something or figure out, So it's been a real struggle. So she went ahead and got this new iPad, and it will have plenty of memory.
I also, one of the reasons why I haven't been doing the art videos that I'd like to do is I hate feeling rushed, and with my tablet it would just quit on me in the middle of a word or something, and I couldn't figure out how to put in pictures.
Well, this will be really nice for you.
Yeah, how to put in pictures of the artwork. Like I have a drawing that I did of a toucan in some plants. I don't know what kind of plants they were. I just basically I got two different pictures and put them together, and I wanted to show that as an example of something while I'm working on something else, and I'm like, well, I can't do that. I don't know how to do that on this, and every time I would try to take a picture with this tablet, it would upload and disappear from my tablet. It would upload to my SkyDrive, and it's like, okay, that's not helpful. So I was liking the way that the Three Sisters creative videos looked, and I thought, that's worth it for me. So
yeah. So, but we just had a little trouble setting it up.
I didn't remember
No
doing
comment.
something that everybody said I did, and I did do it. I remember just not too long ago. I partially remembered it.
It required
I don't remember
a passcode, and she's like, it had me set up the fingerprint, but not the passcode. I'm like, it had to make you do a passcode. So she remembered after we sat on the phone
an hour.
and had to restore
2 hours. I don't know.
Had to totally
long time.
reset
Talk to the
iPad.
Apple Care people.
And then it still wants that old passcode anyway.
And then she remembered it.
No, I didn't remember the whole thing. I remember part of it.
It'll probably work. But anyway,
it'll come to you in your sleep.
so that's why the sun is setting outside. Because I came over early today. Well, we had a long day. Yeah, what did we do? We went, you just need to talk about what you're working on.
Yeah.
Yeah, you talk about what you're working on, then we'll tell our stories.
I'm
Story time.
working on my June project for cross stitch camp. And I guess I think I talked about it last week.
Yeah, because you finished the other one.
Yeah, Blackrock Angels. There are 8 angels, and I've so far done 5 of them, and so I thought I would do the 6th one for camp, And I don't think I was finished last week. I hadn't finished it. So I'm going to go ahead and take this out of the hoop for a second. So you can see the one I did do. Let me take this needle, sorry.
No, she's got angels all over that piece of fabric.
And so yeah, because I'm going to do them all. My plan is to cut them apart and make ornaments out of them. And I was going to do it a couple of years ago when I started this project, and then I just set it aside. And anyway, so I thought, well, this is a good opportunity to do this. So this is the love, this angel, and I did it calls for the strings on this lute that the angel is playing to be half gold and half black, because it goes over the black of the sound hole of the lute, and then, the gold of the, arm or whatever, the thing of the lute. But I just did it all in toile. This pattern calls for you to use black and Krynic gold braid, and it said, or you can use the DMC gold color it listed. And so I did that, except for there's one of these angels that's playing the harp, this one here, and I used étoile for the harp strings, and so I used étoile for the lute strings.
What's
over
étoile?
here.
What is that?
It's a DMC color, but it's a little sparkly, and it's not as fussy as Krynic can be.
Oh, I see it. Nice.
Yeah. So I'm going to put it over here because my straw's in the way. But yeah, so I did this love angel. So for my cross stitch camp project, I
chose the easy way out.
I did this angel that says peace down here, and I'm actually almost done with it. I could probably finish it by this weekend or Monday at the latest. And so, since I have a whole month, I might just go ahead and do the two remaining angels. There's one with a candlestick, and one, what's the other one? This one playing a trumpet. Are the two that I have yet to do.
I see.
And I think I talked about it last week.
I don't know.
I don't think so. I think these came. I know I talked. What? Oh. This is a set of these Prairie Schooler little mini cards. This is set A. But the reason I got this set was for this other Black Oak Angel. And this one's a little bit different than those because there's also a blue color. It uses black and then the either Krynic or gold, and then dark blue. So it also says peace, but it's slightly different because this angel that says peace is vertical and this one is horizontal, like flying down. But it has a little banner like the love one that says peace. So this is slightly different. But I think I have room on this fabric for all of them, including this one. So yeah. And then I had lots of other mail stuff. My
Squishy mail?
yeah, my needle minder for the February I Love to Stitch from embroidery.com just came in the mail today, or today I guess, yeah.
Yeah, I got mine
And then
a little while.
and I had ordered a pattern from that site also. and then I tried to order another one but it was I guess out of stock. This pattern called
Even her log phone.
To my son.
carrying watermelon or something like that. But it's a little ants carrying slices of watermelon. It's really really cute, but they didn't have it, and they couldn't get it. So I don't know if it's out of print or if if I just had to look around to find it. I was just gonna order it from them because I had free shipping with the needle minder and all that. But
I'm still thinking about that snowman.
but I got I had ordered some the chronic threads. Colored cotton threads for this project from a couple different places, and those came in the mail this week. And this is my July cross stitch camp project, and I had an issue with this one because I had been looking at the chart and these little butterflies up here. I talked about this last. I don't know if I talked about
Yes,
it.
you did. And
Yeah,
you
in the
talked about
video.
it on
Yeah.
video.
But I know I talked about it on my video about these little butterflies have a different symbol than this down the word spring is also blue as the butterflies, but it had
We'll put this in a picture here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember.
You had a different symbol, yeah, and so I just kind of asked about it on my video, but I ended up sending an email to Wendy. This from the Hard Needle Art by Wendy. Her email address is in the pattern, and so I just emailed her and I explained, my question, what the color was or whatever, and so she said that the butterflies should be the same color as the word spring. So if you get this pattern and you have a question about that, that's the answer. That the butterflies are the same color as the word spring. So, and then there's also a little the carriage black symbol on the pattern is just a black square like you would see for 310, but on the little chart here it lists it as a triangle, like a lower left triangle, and that's just a little misprint or whatever. But so anyway, that's yeah. So I'm gonna put this back on the.
That's you. We'll put pictures of all this on there.
Yeah.
So in my squishy mail, it was really squished.
Oh no.
So, Memorial Weekend, Joann's had a really good sale on DMC, and I ran over there and got DMC. But there were some glass beads that I had purchased in the past that were not there, and their beads were
She had made a needle minder.
Yeah.
I mean a scissor fob.
A scissor fob with them, and I have one, and I had sold the other one, and I said I'm going to get 2 of those strings. They're marked off, but there weren't any there. And while I was at home, I was cutting out fabrics for the bags, and realized, no, I do not have enough interfacing. And that was also very much on sale. And I wanted to order that to get a bolt of it because of the price. It was fantastic. And I said, oh, look, they're available here. And I ordered them online. It didn't say they were coming from anywhere. I thought they were coming from a warehouse or something, stupid me. Anyway, so part of it I picked up at the store, just 5 yards of the interfacing. I'm still waiting for the bolt. It's on its way now. And then in the mail came the glass beads. So the glass beads came in this type of envelope, no padding. In this type of bag, no padding. And therefore, were completely broken.
Oh no.
And
What is it, doggy bone?
this is a
Yeah.
dog bone. Not all of the beads are broken, but I paid for an intact string. I didn't pay
Oh my
to
gosh.
use part of it.
Crumbs.
Yeah, so
Let's see.
Are you going back?
no,
Are you
I
going
called Joann's, and they said, well,
Yeah.
those are filled.
Did you
Yeah,
see that?
it's
Oh my
ridiculous.
God.
It's ridiculous. We have to take a picture of this because it's
Yeah.
hilarious. So, FYI, what Joann's does is the nearest store or
Fulfills
a
it.
store
Mhm.
in your area that has the items that you want throws those in an envelope. Throw them in an envelope and send them to you. Which, okay, that's cool. These came from, I know now, from a store in Gilbert, which, while it's not horrendously far, we went further today to go to the graduation. You know, I would not drive across town for that. I didn't want to drive up to Tatham either.
Yeah.
So, the Joann's near me is only 10 minutes away. I don't want to drive an hour. So, they threw this in these bags with no padding and expected glass beads to go through the U.S. mail.
How stupid.
Intact.
So when you called,
And
what did they say?
They said, I said, so if I order them again, you can't guarantee that they're going to come in a padded envelope. Well, each store, decides how they're going to send them.
Oh
I said,
my gosh.
but they're glass. They have to go in padding. And this Joanne said, yeah, you're supposed to wrap them in bubble wrap. Well, they didn't do that. So I said, well, I'm not going to order them again, and they're out of stock at my store, and I therefore have lost the value of the sale that I was counting on,
Yeah.
and so
Well, not only just the value of the
It's just-
sale, but just the value of the purchase.
Did they
Right.
refund you at least?
yeah, they gave me a refund. But she said, well, just go into your Joann's, and they can perhaps have them transferred from one store to another, so that
In a plastic bag.
yeah, but if they're transferred, theoretically they'd arrive, whole. And
Theoretically.
Some person has
So-
to physically drive them to the.
yeah,
Still.
well, I think they're going to come by FedEx or something. I don't know, but I have to pick them up at the store, and that's fine. I'm always up for a trip to Joann's, but just know that if you're ordering something like that it, this is how Joann's does it, and the person on the phone was very nice, and the person in Joann's that I spoke to who was ordering them for me, extraordinarily nice. I love Joann's, but
They just started that fulfillment. So I worked for Joann's for about this long, right? I think my first day was the day before the shutdown happened last spring. So I was there, I don't know, maybe even a week only. And then I started to get scared about being out in public and exposing my parents, which, anyway. So I took a leave of absence, and they were totally cool with it. And then after a little while, I went ahead and resigned. And actually, I've thought about going back, but the Joann's near us has changed. They split the store, so they condensed their retail space down to about, I think say it's like 3/4 maybe of the building, and then that other fourth is a fulfillment center. So some of the jobs that are available now is in that fulfillment area, and but I would imagine that's.
But
not
they should do it
standard
right.
practice.
They should do it
Yeah.
right. And
Like,
what do you mean you can't promise me that they will send it in an appropriate way? That should be part of
yeah.
Yeah, instead of just some schmo just throwing it in
yeah.
the bag
And I'm not angry with Joann's. I'm not
It's just
it's
weird.
a waste of my time. And I filled out a review on these. I'm like, I have no problem with the beads.
Mm-hmm.
But I said on my review, don't order this stuff online because you may not get it intact. And they asked me, a little question thing, and I told them, I said, when you order something online, you expect to get it. And one thing that a retail store can do that makes me very, very angry is wasting my time. Because another thing was that I could not make an account on either the app or the website. It would not let me make an account, and it doesn't tell me why. You know, is your email wrong, or is your whatever wrong, or you're not filling out that part. It doesn't tell you why, it just won't continue on. Now, I was able to order after, you know, futzing with it forever. But, you know, I told them, you know, don't waste my time. Yeah, I'll go into your store. I love Joann's. I love your products. I'll go into your store. But, you know, you know, if you're going to offer something, you know, to be shipped to you, ship it right.
That's so strange.
Yeah, and
it's probably just a person's first day on the job or something.
Yeah, and but it wasn't like she said, "Oh my, they should have sent that in a padded envelope. We'll contact that store and make sure that they know."
Yeah.
No, I didn't get that. Well, we can't guarantee that they'll send it in a padded envelope. Well, I can guarantee I won't be ordering it by mail.
Then that's like wasted inventory for you.
Well, yeah, because it's all broken.
You're gonna have to refund it,
and they're not making me, you know, give it back. And there's some beads on there that are usable, but the way that I did it, I needed 2 halves of the same thing to do what I did, and I want all the beads. You know.
Yeah. Well, that's the.
I paid for all the beads. I want all the beads.
That's the opposite experience that we had with Chewy. They're so great. So we ordered. Okay, Hobbs, my lover kitty, is allergic to everything. We had him tested, and he can only have certain proteins, and you know, and I think he's allergic to eggs, and eggs is in all the dog food and cat food. I mean, cat food out there. So anyway, we found this one cat food that both cats have done really well on. It's Canaday, and it's chicken and carrots. And it smells so good. I keep teasing Mark. I'm like, I'm going to put this on a cracker. Because, you know, you never get pet food that smells good. And this smells like food. I mean, it smells great. So we really like it for them. And we also have the dry version. So, but every night they get so excited, and they get their little wet food, and they eat it all gone. And they kind of have dry crunchies the rest of the day. So, my husband, when we got low, he ordered some through Chewy, and we've ordered 1,000 times. And we're like, okay, the cans are getting dwindling down. Where's the order? And it's supposed to be there on June 1st. Okay, that night we kind of split the food, like gave him just a little taste, because we're like, okay, it's coming tomorrow. And it didn't come on June 1st. And they said, no, it's coming on the 2nd. And I'm like, no, it's coming on the 3rd. And so they're fine with dried food, but you know, so I called Chewy, and I'm like, something's wrong. And I said, my cats don't have this wet food. And I was like, and you know, it's not good for cats to eat just dry food, because you know, they need the moisture. And so she was very nice. She's like, yeah, I see it. It's sitting there in, I don't know, Buckeye or something, and like it doesn't say why it's not coming. It's just not coming. So she's like, well, I can go ahead and refund that. It's not going to affect your order, and you know, hopefully it'll get there soon. But we'll refund it. So she refunded us for the whole order.
Wow.
And so, but at the same time, because they hadn't had it in days, Mark went ahead and found some on Amazon, and he's like, we can get it the next day. So, so the next day, we got the Chewy order for free, and we got the Amazon order. But they were so nice at Chewy. I highly recommend them.
Yes,
I've heard good things also about them.
I have a Chewy order, a standing auto delivery order, and I have 2 actually, because I have one that's their cat litter, and there's a brand of cat litter, and one that is their cat food, and actually I was ordering canned food for my cats, and then just buying dry food, because I was just giving them a little bit of dry food, you know, every few days or whatever. I have like one of those slow feeder things where the cat has to fish it out with their hand. but I'm kind of up to here with that because the cats are always like leaving
Throwing
food
it all
on the
over.
floor. Yeah, there was always like
No.
I was always stepping on just little bits of cat food. Anyway, but one of my cats was like constantly scratching and everything, and so I finally took him to the vet because he had little sores on his body and just all kinds of things.
That's exactly how Hobbs was.
And so I took him to the vet, and what we're doing right now is a trial of hypoallergenic food. Hypoallergenic food, and when I first looked, I couldn't find it on Chewy. I was and so I was thinking I was going to have to order it from some other company, and then I looked again and I found it. So I was able to cancel the other food and go with just this hypoallergenic food. It's very expensive,
Yeah.
but I set that up as an auto feed, auto delivery thing. So, but Snug is much better. He has not been scratched.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I
The
didn't
change
know
was
that.
amazing. They started it just this week at the
But he's
beginning.
angry. He's very angry.
No, no.
Well,
it's
the plan, because he's very overweight also. He's very food motivated and just had gained a lot of weight when I was in the hospital 5 years ago. But my other cat, Puck, is not food motivated at all. He actually liked the canned food a lot. And that was one way that, like I could entice him around or whatever. But when it comes to dry food, he's kind of like, he'll nibble a little bit and then, let it go. And Snug is the type that if I don't watch him like a hawk, he will eat everything inside. So, but
that's not good for Puck, that food, huh?
no, they said that
It's
it would
okay.
be okay for him too.
Well, that's
But I was just amazed at because Snug would scratch almost constantly.
Oh.
He would just lie there and scratch his neck, and scratch here and scratch there, and it just it was amazing how much he would scratch. And then once they've been on that food for a couple of days, it's
fine.
Yeah,
Wow. That's
he
how
once in a while he'll scratch, but not like he was before.
we used to say. So Hannah coined the term butt munching because Hobbs would just sit and on his back, and he'd twist his head all the way around, his back, on his legs, and he had awful sores.
Yeah,
he was just biting himself.
Well,
and
when Snug
really
got
good.
to the point where he had a couple of areas on his, one place on his side where he just had a raw open sore, and I found little spots of blood on my sheets a couple times and things like that.
Yep.
And I had noticed he had various patches here and there on his flank, kind of just, and his legs of just fur, taken off. Just he had
You mean like my bald dog?
Yeah, and he had scratched his fur off, chewed his fur out, whatever. And so
I'm glad he's doing better.
yeah, so he's doing a lot better now. And I noticed it the other day that I noticed Puck, eating some of Snug's food actually. So it's okay, well, I guess turnabout is fair play.
But
That's right.
So.
Snug was so used to having both the cans and the dry, and now he has just that one. I hear him all the time going, "Hey, what happened to
So
my
he's
other
on
food?"
a canned food now?
Huh?
He's on a canned food
No,
now?
no, it's just dry.
It's
But
dry.
they get fed twice a day, so
Yeah.
once in the morning and once in the
And
evening.
just a certain amount.
Because it really isn't true, although people always say, "Oh, cats regulate themselves." Not all cats.
Mm-mm.
Not
Savannah
all cats. No.
But Tomlet did.
Yeah. But so our boys.
My dog does.
Yeah.
She doesn't She leaves food
Well,
all the time.
yeah, Puck does. Puck just nibbles a little bit and then just leaves it sitting there, and but Snug just will he shovel it in. He just.
I saw a video of his really big fat cat just going. He's like just. I've never seen a cat eat like that, like this one on the video.
And well, and Snug was always, I think food motivated and used food to dominate Puck, but it wasn't until I was in the hospital, that
they were so lonely.
Yeah.
Well, and we took you that Monday,
and you never came home.
and you didn't come home for a month, 2 months.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a long time before your cats were reunited with you. And while I went there often, I didn't go every day.
Or stay the night. Or
I never stayed the night, and I think the first time I went back, it had been not too long, but I think they were without food for maybe a day and a half or something, with no food, and your cats were not used to that. If you were going to be gone, you made sure they had plenty of food. But this was,
it was crisis time.
Yeah, and of course, I went there as soon as I could to take care of them.
But it's not the same.
But
and it was such a sudden thing,
and it was just like they barely knew me. I mean, she had moved from Arkansas a few months before, and I had
been here like 8 months.
I had seen them, now and then, but I didn't spend any length of time with them. And when I would go and visit them, I tried to, talk to them and, pet them a little bit. But I was, it was after work and I still had to go home and take care of stuff at home. And so it wasn't like I could spend an evening there,
I think he probably just got really stressed.
And and I think that
he ate
trauma
his
for
feelings.
him, that's what we say. He ate his feelings, and
easy to do.
and
poor little stuff.
He just got used to.
Well, because you
They
would
were just rattling around all by themselves.
He got used to thinking, I better eat all of this now because there might not be some in a little bit. Yeah. So, yeah.
But but he's doing a lot better now that he's on
great.
that other food.
I didn't know that. I'm so glad.
Yeah, it was just amazing. I realized he has not been scratching.
He must feel so much better now.
And the food may be expensive, but not as expensive as doctor's visits.
Yeah.
Because if any of those sores got infected, because.
Yeah, I just had to be. It's like, okay, I have to be careful because it's a chunk of money coming out of my bank account automatically.
Yeah, we can't have as many visits to Joanne's.
Yes. I have to curb that.
Yeah. Well, spending money left and right.
Yeah.
So I have to be careful.
Purchasing that iPad. It was something I thought about for a while, but then when I went to do it, I was like, no, not that one. And it wasn't like I got the cheapest one, but I didn't get the most expensive one either. But I wanted it.
Yeah.
I wanted it to be a purchase that would last a while because I was spending a good
You'd be
chunk
like
of
me,
money.
just get your tablets for free.
Yeah. That never happens to me.
I want a tablet, an iPad.
A long time ago.
Oh yeah, but it's amazing how much time goes by. So because I have an old, outdated iPad and
now I have an old, outdated iPad. This one. I finished that seam.
Yeah, I got it for free though. I call it my pneumonia consolation prize because I was homesick with pneumonia at the time.
I finished all the horizontal seams. Now I've got to do the vertical ones. What was I was gonna say, oh, you'll notice we don't have our requisite cups again.
Yeah.
Because
No.
while we were waiting for the iPad to restore and re-sign in and blah, 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 Eve said, I'm going to run to Dutch Brothers.
McDonald's is further than Dutch Brothers, and we had been talking about Dutch Brothers earlier. So.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because we were gonna just
we were just going to drink
use our
bottles, you know, and he was like, I can't sit here. I think she was getting mad at the iPad, so she left.
I was getting frustrated.
But I want to
They
show
said
you.
it's going to take about 20 minutes. I'm like, 20 minutes, huh?
Run to Dutch Brothers.
So when we were in the mountains, I had a different green cup. And I got so sick of that cup because I don't have it with me. It's a Zach cup. And they used to have the kind of like that fit in like the rubber gasket. You just push it in. But now they have a screw top. But the top of it is still as tiny and skinny as their lifter, their lids that just lift out. And so for some reason, every time I used that cup, I'd put it on. I would not tighten it really hard. But over the course of using it, it would tighten up so hard that, like, even my nephew Robert with his big old muscles couldn't undo it, and I couldn't undo it. And finally, a couple of times Hannah undid it, but had been doing that all before.
And you need to be able to open it yourself because
Yeah, and then I went to the mountains, especially up there. We had all these theories. Is it because it's suction? Is it because it's cold or hot? Cold should make things get smaller and make it easier. But for some reason, there was something about that cup that lid would tighten, and I'm like, we got home, and I'm like, I am done. So I got this beautiful hydro flask, and look, I put a gnome on it. Isn't that cute? And so it's my baby. But
Her Nomi cup.
my Nomi cup, yeah. But I'm so excited. How many vertical seams do I have? Shall we count? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
So as if I don't have
7,
enough to do.
8, 9, 10, 11.
You're counting that
12.
reminded me that
I have 12
I
vertical
want to do a
seams.
quilt a long time ago. I used to try to learn how to do quilts. And while I made a few, there were some issues. And I was just learning from, cutting out the patterns from a book. I didn't have, a Olfa cutter or any of that stuff. I just was just doing it. And Naomi has made many quilts. And I've just been going, I really want to try to do one of those jelly roll quilts.
Yeah.
And so last night I was like looking at all these jelly rolls to see if there was any that I liked, and I'm like, I don't know why I'm even thinking about this. It's not like I have time to do this, but I also want to work on those gourds.
Yeah. We're the queens of UFOs. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
Let's just say that.
Yeah,
Because,
the unfinished
speaking
painting
of
the
UFOs,
cats. Yeah.
So I have all these projects I've been working on, right? For Mania, I worked on all my UFOs. This is the only one close to completion. But am I thinking about these Casa Pinka, Sharon from Security, Mystery Knit Along in August? Yes, I am. I gotta buy some yarn. I was wearing my t-shirt from last August, and I walked up to my husband, I'm like, there's another Mystery Knit Along coming. He's like, okay.
He's really very understanding about your obsessions.
I guess.
Of course, he has his own obsessions.
True.
Tea, cards, oboes,
always.
Yeah.
So yeah, but it never ends. So you're gonna make a quilt?
I think so. I saw some patterns that I like. I like the cloth that you found to do the quilt for me. I really like those colors, and I didn't see anything that was remotely like that. But I saw some stuff and I was like, those are really cute. And
So you want to do a jelly roll?
well, just because I haven't done anything like that in a really long time, I sew a lot, obviously.
It's really
But-
easy and fun.
Yeah, and I want to look at that other jelly roll tutorial, and I know
Missouri Star Quilt Company 100 all the way, all the time, every day. I love Jenny Doan. She's my best friend. I got to meet her, you know, at a little. She took a tour, and she was at a quilt shop here, and I got to meet her, took a picture with her. I love her.
but I might do, you know, some other kind. I don't know.
What's nice about her quilts is that she does a they use pre-cuts. So either the jelly roll, which is 2.5-inch strips by the width of fabric, whatever that is, or like they have charms, which are 5.5, and then they have layer cakes, which are the big 10.5-inch ones. And so all of her quilt designs are made with those pre-cuts. So you get these pre-cuts and then you cut them into, but they're usually really easy cuts again. It's not like piecing from a giant slab of fabric. So that's what I love about her tutorials.
Well,
and that's what made me finally have the confidence to quilt, because before that I was always like, I don't have room for
That's the
yards
whole
and
thing.
yards of fabric.
It's that
And
even
so-
when I'm cutting for the bags, I'm like,
Yeah.
That's
That's what I love about that, because until you get to the actual top, you don't need room for anything, you know, and because you're using those pre-cuts, maybe you're cutting them again and you're sewing little pieces, and then, but because it's already mostly cut, especially the jelly rolls, so what the way Jenny Doan does it for Missouri Star Quilt Company, you sew the ends together of all of them, and then you find the other end and sew them down and cut it at the end and finish sewing it, and then you put it together again and you sew it, and you cut it and put it together again and sew it, and then so all of those mitered edges that she has you sew it together on a diagonal to keep the seams more flat and not so bumpy. You do them like that, and so you wind up, the way the jelly rolls all work out, you wind up with a quilt that, and one jelly roll will make like a twin size quilt, like Hannah's. Remember that? It's not as long as a twin bed. It's short. And a little bit wide,
and
but
the one-
it's
Is that
neat.
like mine? The one you
No.
made? No.
Yours was made from a layer cake, also a twin size. If you use one layer cake, you get a twin. If you use two, you get a queen.
Yeah,
like
the jelly roll quilt that tutorial that I saw in Fat Quarter Shop was, you know, sewing them together this way and then cutting them and making blocks. And it's really cute. And that's what's really nice, is that with those pre-cuts, there's any number of ways that you can put them together.
Oh, there's really great ways.
And
like Rachel's quilt is a jelly roll quilt, but also uses, I think it's charms in the middle of. So you put 3 strips together and you cut it into squares, and then you put them this way, and you know, like that, alternating, and then it had some other things in it. So there's a lot of things you can do with jelly roll quilt, but that one where you sew them all end to end, and then you basically fold them on each other and sew it again, and fold them on each other and sew it again, and fold them on each other and sew them. It's really cool.
well,
Really
and
cool.
you know, one of the reasons why I have been thinking about it so much is, as I've mentioned before here, my dog eats things she shouldn't eat, and she loves cloth. Now, she's better than when she was younger. When she was a baby,
She knows you're talking about her. She's on her way.
when she,
Hi.
when she was a baby,
My name is
Hi,
Bang.
are you listening to us talk about you? Sneezy dog. My son was in swimming in high school, and when he graduated, ouch! When he graduated, they gave him a blanket that had his name and the year he graduated, the name of the school, the little paws, because they were the pride, you know, Lion Pride, and she
That's what
ate the embroidery off of the blanket. and then barfed up a big black barf because it was a black blanket. And well,
So anyway,
My-
that's why you
my-
need a quilt.
my comforter that's on my bed has about, I don't know, 10, 12 holes in it, and most of the stuffing she's pulled out and I've had to throw away.
I have a quilt partially made for her that I haven't finished.
Yeah.
Because you know how I am.
But I thought, you know, it would be fun to make something, because even if you finish that, then I would have, you know, something too, you know.
Yeah.
And I remember enjoying that. Now, I don't remember enjoying the binding of it.
No, okay, so that's
But-
the other thing. The Missouri Star Quilt Company is the best. So I learned how to back it, and also the binding is very easy. It's
Well,
very
I've seen
easy.
a couple of different
You
ways
can
of
do hand
binding.
binding, you can do machine binding.
Yeah,
so
it has
easy.
to be machine binding.
So easy,
But-
so easy. I'll show you how to do it.
But
I will show you how.
but I just kind of was like, you know, I should do that, just for fun. And you know, you don't have to make it all at once. You know, you don't have to do everything all at once.
But using those pre-cuts, I swear it
But
makes
from
life
what
go
I
so
saw,
fast.
what I saw with that, it was like, well, those if you don't have to cut it out, that's what takes all the
Yes.
time. Because if you don't cut out something correctly, if you know haphazardly cut stuff
Yeah,
out,
then you're
it
messing
doesn't fit together right.
Right.
Sorry.
Just like with these bags, you know, I have to be really careful that I'm cutting it, right and
Mhm.
straight, especially if there's a pattern that has an obvious,
Grain.
an obvious snap.
Directions, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Beth, I scratched you.
Sorry.
There's a pattern
I'm
that
tough. I can take.
What?
I said I'm tough. I can take it.
There's a pattern that I have here. This one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. This is
And
gonna
the
have
other
to be.
thing is,
This is gonna have to be super straight this way, and it's gonna have to be super straight this way, or these lines won't.
right? So that's the
be
thing.
flat.
Like that's one thing I learned. So you know, after you make the top, you put a border around it, right? And then you bind, and then you
Yeah.
sandwich it and quilt it. Then you bind it, right? So I made a quilt for a family friend, for a friend of a family, and the pattern had this, you know. So I always pick the pre-cuts, and then from the same fabric. What's nice about the pre-cuts is it's all different. It's a fabric line that a designer creates, but you
can
don't
find
have
stuff
to.
that goes with it.
You don't have to put colors together. That's the other intimidating thing about if you're just going to go buy a yard here and a yard there. You have to put all those colors together, and this is like probably it's like 42 squares, and it's two of every piece of the line that the designer creates. So it all goes together, even if you think that it wouldn't. When you put it together, you're like, oh my gosh, that's beautiful. So you don't have to think. But so what I would do is I'd get like a pre-cut set, and then I'd pick one of those fabrics for like the border and the binding. And so this one was it was like a solid colors with printed graphic designs, like maybe like triangles here, but they had a dark blue that had lines on it. And the lines looked crooked to the eye, and they had little dots along the lines, but they weren't crooked. And when I cut that was one of my early quilts. When I cut the binding, I didn't pay attention. I mean, the borders, I didn't pay that much attention to it. I thought I was cutting it straight. You know how it goes. And then I put that, and you can see like the lines going like this up the border, you know. So I'm like, never do a striped pattern on a board. It's okay in the quilt, you know, because it's little pieces and they go every which way. But no, not on a border, because if you cut it a little bit crooked, boy, those lines tell the story.
You know, that reminds me. In the 70s, when I was a kid,
1,000 years ago.
people used to wear striped pants.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like Mr. Barker, our junior high band director,
yeah.
wore pretty tight
A. Ray
striped
Barker.
Alvy Ray Barker, striped kind of pants, and and I saw this on what do you call it? What Not to Wear.
Yeah.
Also, that if you wear a stripe like that, if you are at all like overweight or anything like that, the
gonna
stripes
bend
in your
around.
pants will, and so that it reminds me. It's a very 70s look of this vertical stripe on your pants, especially.
Well,
But-
and when
but,
you're
yeah,
sewing
if
that, it's
you know-
it's actually very difficult to make sure when you cut the pieces.
It
that
takes
all-
a lot
yeah.
longer to
and
cut
a lot
out.
more fabric.
Fussy cut.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to really, So that was my one thing is on the borders. Do not use a striped fabric. Or that stripe is going to be hard and you have to sew a straight line too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Make sure ooh, but
Yeah, but
Just
you know,
I
So-
love quilting. I haven't done any quilting in a
oh,
long
I'm
time.
sorry, doggy. I just kicked my dog. Not on purpose.
But so today we shouldn't tell the story today. Today my son graduated from his program down in Tucson. He's been up here during the pandemic taking classes online, but they had the graduation in person in Tucson. It was so nice, and he did
It
a
was
speech,
very nice.
and we had lunch, and it was a really nice day. And then we came back here and swam, and then we fought with an iPad. For
Yeah, that part wasn't
2
nice.
hours.
A long time.
Yeah.
A very long time.
Wow.
Because we got out of the pool at 4:00, and we started recording at 7. So that we had Eli's gifts
Yeah.
and all that. We had a gift card party. We kept teasing him all day. So there's a restaurant in town called Salad and Go, and he hates it. Every time, we got it a couple times for dinner a while ago, and so anytime we're like, well, let's eat out. What should we get? And he's like, anywhere but Salad and Go. So last night at dinner, Rachel was over at dinner with us, and I said, Eli, I just want you to know I got you $100 gift card to Salad and Go. And he's just sitting there, and Mark goes, I thought that's what I got him. And then Rachel says, yeah, that's what I got him too. And Hannah goes, oh no, did we all get him the same thing? But we had a gift card party for him, so that was fun. We got him some gift cards to a bunch of different places. So we had a good day. It was a good day until we had to fight with the iPad.
Yeah, but now, look at it.
But yeah, you can't see it. It looks the same to you, but we're all excited about it.
Yeah.
Hopefully
Now
it looks
the one thing is that we couldn't figure out how to connect the
the
mic.
microphone. Yeah, we need an
So
adapter.
hopefully
So
y'all can hear us.
we've been. Yeah, I think it's got a pretty good mic on it. I'm sure.
Yeah.
But you know what? I drank all my Dutch Brothers right away because I got it blended, which is like icy, right? It's like an icy drink. And so I didn't want the ice to melt, so I drank it all, and I kind of think I have a headache, like a caffeine headache.
Yeah.
Right here.
Because she got a caffeine shot in there.
Yeah, Rebel. So I'm sitting here going, why does my head hurt? But also my hurt because I ate dinner. I'm hungry.
Yeah.
I'm hungry.
Well, ever since I had that surgery, I had to be really careful with cold drinks.
Oh no, it wasn't the cold that gave me a headache. I think it's the caffeine.
Oh,
Well, I drink caffeine every day. I don't
but
know.
I get ice cream headaches. The cold
Yeah.
headaches. I get them much more easily, and I only get them on this side of my head where I had the surgery. But they're horrible. If you eat something too fast or whatever, some kind of cold thing, you get an ice cream headache or whatever. But any little cold thing, like any kind of frappuccino, even this drink, when we were sitting around waiting, dealing with the iPad, I was sipping on it and I could feel it.
Well, here's the
starting to
funny
hurt,
thing. So I get a lot of headaches, like in the heat. I get kind of heat headaches, and if I was joking about this, McDonald's ice cream, I would go get a McDonald's ice cream driving around, and putting that cold ice cream on the roof of my mouth would make my headache feel better. So I get the opposite.
Yeah.
Try to induce a headache.
But I cannot.
Yeah.
It's just and it's much worse than it was before. You know,
Oh,
because
yeah.
I was not really susceptible at all to that, but now it's
Your
blinding.
nerves
It's
are all-
absolutely blinding.
Your nerves are all on fire.
Something.
Well,
Yeah.
you know, as we've
I
been
can't
saying,
feel anything on this side of my mouth, but boy, that cold.
as we've
Yeah.
been saying, we haven't eaten. It's very late, and we probably should go.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I need to go home and finish this before Hannah takes off.
Yeah.
And yeah, so anyway, it's been good to be back. We're
Mhm.
home. Oh yeah. Oh, so after I caught the fish, I started thinking about fly fishing. I decided I wanted to join the religion of fly fishermen. And my dad, as an early birthday, got me a fly rod
Oh yeah.
at Bass Pro Shop. And I'm going to go next Tuesday, I'm going to go to a class, Fly Fishing
Really?
101. And then I'm probably going to buy a in-person casting lesson.
Shiny new thing.
Yeah, it's the new thing. And then, I mean, maybe one day I'll tie my own flies. And then I'll stop doing knitting and crocheting.
You'll crochet your
Actually,
own flies.
so to practice, one of the things they say to practice fly, casting, they say put a piece of yarn. I'm like, I'm going to crochet myself a little lure just for fun, and I'm going to use that to cast with. So that's my new obsession. I decided, after I caught that fish, and that feeling of having a fish on the line is like no other feeling ever. And the next day, we went up to a little piece of the creek. It was so beautiful. And a little bit, I was like, I kind of don't want to catch a fish. I want to catch a fish, but I don't want to cook a fish again. Because we were going to leave the next day. And I was like, so I thought, well, maybe, fly fishing is a really cool thing. And their big thing is catch and release. And I thought, because it's fun to eat a fish. I like eating fish. But at the same time, I thought, sometimes that's kind of a burden where you can just go and fish and catch and release. You use barbless hooks and it doesn't hurt the fish as much. And, so I thought, maybe that's for me. And so I told my husband, I want to go fishing on my birthday. So that's my other thing. So now I am a quilter, a knitter, crocheter, and soon to be a fly fisherman, woman, whatever. So that's my other news. My pretty fly rod that I got, thanks to my daddy.
Still, one of my favorite sayings from that restaurant, the Flying Fish in Little Rock. We catch and release into real hot grease.
Yeah. I do like eating a fish, I will say that. But I also just like fishing, so. Anyway, I'm babbling and we need to go.
Yeah.
I need to go eat. Maybe that's why I have a headache.
Yeah.
But thanks for joining us.
Yes.
And please like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications.
And don't order glass beads from Joanne.
Don't order glass beads online. And what else? And don't forget your passcodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Write them down. Have a good night. Have a good day. Bye.
Bye.